This video is brought to you by Loot Crate. Head today to lootcrate.com/reviewtechusa and enter the code RTU to save 10% on any subscription plan. Skip it up and that up. So I probably got, within like an hour, 1 billion PMs on Facebook and on YouTube wanting me to talk about Capcom being able to be sold now. Capcom is up for sale. You could buy their shares. Well, let me start first the story and what's going on. Capcom shareholders ever since 2008 had a takeover defense strategy. Basically, they had a whole bunch of policies and stuff in place that a company or a corporation couldn't come in, buy a bunch of shares of Capcom and take over the company. They had a bunch of stuff in place to prevent that. They just recently decided to not have those strategies in place anymore. So now a company with very deep pockets, with a lot of money, can potentially come in and buy over 50% of Capcom shares and pretty much own the company. To start off, first off, I think all of us saw this coming from a mile away. You don't need to be a financial analyst. You don't need to be Michael Pachter to realize that this was going to happen to Capcom. We saw it coming from a mile away with all of their ridiculous policies like on-disc DLC. They made a bunch of their beloved franchises very generic because they were trying to make their own version of their next Call of Duty. I've talked about it all before. Capcom tried to westernize a lot of their franchises. They took away the magic of what made Capcom, and it hurt them. I mean, I've talked about this a billion times before. You guys have agreed with me. It's not a surprise. But the first thing, from kind of like an emotional or like a personal standpoint, is that it's still besides Nintendo, some of the best memories I have from my childhood is from Capcom franchises, whether it be Mega Man, Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts. I remember it was a really, like, during, I believe, 1988. Yes, I'm aging myself here. 1988, it was a really hot, lazy summer. Like, my friends would come over. It was too hot to go outside. It was like 100 friggin' degrees every day. And I remember just one of those days I couldn't have friends over, just playing Trojan the whole day on the NES. Like, great memories from Capcom. And to see them become a former shell of what they were. Capcom, like I've said in other videos as well, was the third-party company to go to for great games. Like, when you saw Capcom on a box, even up to like the PS2 era, even PS3 beginning, the beginning of the 7th generation, when you saw a Capcom game, you pretty much were guaranteed that you were going to have an amazing experience. And to see them go down this road, and to actually, you know, like I said, we've all predicted it. You know, there's no one here who was a Dionne Warwick. It was plain as day, clear as crystal, that Capcom was eventually going to be in trouble. It's just sad, you know, to see a company that really is part of the reason that I became very passionate about gaming be on death's door. I mean, if Capcom was financially healthy, do you think that this would happen? Do you think they would have, you know, pushed all their takeover strategies aside and said, hey, someone with the highest bidder, if one of you got pockets, your pockets are deep enough, come in and buy us? It sucks, man. It's kind of depressing that stuff has gone down this route for Capcom. Now, what does this mean for the future of Capcom? This is one thing I want to talk about. I almost forgot. That's why I kind of tripped over my words. I don't know. It depends on who buys them. I don't think anybody knows. I'm sure people are going to speculate and say, oh, it's great. It could help Capcom. It's going to destroy Capcom. I don't think anyone knows in either direction. We're not going to know until one of these shareholders or someone comes in, some company comes in, buys over 50% of the shares. We're not going to know where it's going to lead Capcom to. It could be the best thing for them ever. It could destroy all of their franchises completely. We're going to have no idea until it happens. Now, who do I think should buy Capcom? Kind of going to go with the pack here, but I think it would be a brilliant move for Nintendo to buy Capcom. I think it would be phenomenal. Imagine having Street Fighter be exclusive to Nintendo. Imagine having Mega Man be exclusive to Nintendo. Imagine the next Dead Rising game being exclusive to Nintendo. They have the money to buy. They have the money to buy over 50% of Capcom shares. They definitely do. Think about all the great games, the IPs, Devil May Cry. You know, I can't even Resident Evil. Imagine they made like Resident Evil 8 Nintendo platform exclusive. Do I think Nintendo will do it? Probably not. I don't think they will. But if they did, it would be home run for Nintendo. They would dominate shit. Doubt they will, but it would be nice. But I'll end this video with this. This isn't a super long video because there's not too much to say because I've beaten this topic to death before. But I think we all saw this coming, guys. Capcom is not the same company they were. I still wish them the best because, like I said, a lot of my great gaming childhood memories come from Capcom titles. And I hope that whoever does take control of Capcom's IPs and assets and shares brings them in the right direction. We don't know if they will. We don't know if they won't. But hopefully they do. And hopefully the best year. Hopefully there's another golden Capcom renaissance coming. I don't know if there will be, but it would be great if there was. All right, folks, this is Rich of Review Tech USA. Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting my channel. Have a good one.